Before this video even begins, I just had to put this in here. The gameplay you're going to be seeing is Abe's Odyssey, a masterpiece, one of the greatest games ever fucking perceived through the fucking human consciousness. Whoever fucking Leonard Lanning, sorry, and Kingdom Hearts. Of course, because I was playing Fallout 4 and I needed to take a break from it. I was going to record Fallout 4, but I know you guys don't give a fuck about seeing shooter gameplay. That's something for another time. Battlefront 1 and 2 now are both having issues thanks to Mac's shitty-ass new updates. I'm being so honest, and I can't take it anymore. Now, maybe one day I'll find a way around that like I did before, but until then, I got the Elgato for a reason. I'm really, really sorry, but I'm just going to be recording what I have on my computer that works and all of my games. I have hundreds of games. Just tell me. For God's sake, I'm going to get Dark Souls soon, too, so you'll probably be seeing some gameplay. I even fucking have I Am Alive, that old-ass game that flew under the radar. So you're going to be seeing some strange games, because I'm not into shooters like that. I'm into unique games and linear games. I like some shooters, I even like a couple of Call of Duties, but I'm just not a shooter guy. I never was, and I recently tried to get back into it 2-3 years ago. I tried to be a shooter guy. I tried to be that multiplayer online guy, and I got bored. So you're going to see games that are strange. You're going to see old games. You're going to see some new ones. You're going to see games you might have never heard before. Just bear with me, because these are the games that I grew up with, that I love to death. And, you might even fucking see Super Smash Flash too. Okay, but listen. Just bear with me. Yeah. And that is the reason why Battlefront will be gone for quite some time. And that's why I'm getting a PC. And the recording begins now. Thank you so much for watching. And after all this time, you're talking about Star Wars Battlefront before the fucking gameplay comes out. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get this going. And before the gameplay's even been revealed, they were only revealing shit that is not going to be in the fucking game. So instead of giving us some fucking gameplay, they're just revealing shit that, oh, by the way, this is a bunch of shit that won't be in the fucking game. That's what they're sitting there doing. Revealing shit like that, like that's supposed to change everything, or that's supposed to save you, or that's supposed to put you in a position to where you think, I'm going to buy this fucking game. Now I'm ready, and for sure, definitely going to consider what you're saying. But in order for me to consider what you're saying about the game, you're going to have to show me what the game actually has to offer. And instead of showing me what the fucking game has to offer, they're not showing me what the game has to offer. They're showing me a CGI cutscene. Why? Why are you showing me a CGI cutscene for a game that I haven't even seen anything for yet? That's not gameplay. All that is just a fucking cutscene. That's all they're showing. A cutscene for a game. Instead of actually showing what the game actually has to offer and what the game can actually give to you and what the game actually has on the table. Instead of giving you something like that, they're giving you just this CGI stuff. A bunch of stuff showing, people running around in Endor. Oh, pew, pew, pew. Oh, my God. And you're just sitting there thinking, wow, that's great and all, but this is not gameplay. In order to understand what the game has to offer, you need to give us gameplay, or else we're not going to give a shit. How are we supposed to care about a game when you're not giving us no fucking gameplay? Where's the fucking gameplay? Hello? If there's no gameplay, there's no purchase, because we don't care about what the fuck a shitty cutscene has to offer. We care about what the game actually has to offer. And they did not deliver on that. And instead, we're just sitting here the whole fucking time, just looking at all these cutscenes and looking at all this shit that has nothing to do with the actual game. And then I'm just left at wondering, then I'm trying to tell people, I'm like, they're revealing stuff that will not be in the game, and they're not showing us gameplay. They're being hush-hush and sketch about the game. And you had a bunch of DICE EA sympathizers who kept saying, don't worry, they'll add it in DLC. Don't worry, they'll add it in the sequel. Don't worry, they'll add it in later updates. And all this shit, all these promises That's all you got was a bunch of promises and promises and promises, and little to none of them were ever fucking delivered. So what is the purpose of you making a promise that you're not delivering? You're even admitting that you will not deliver on those promises because you're telling people what will not be in the game before the games even come out. And then not only are you telling people this isn't going to be there, Instant Action won't be there, Galactic Conquest, this won't be there, we'll have an AI mode with bots that you fight a couple of fucking bots and shit like that. That's not going to be in there. And then, okay, so if you're going to take away all this content for the game, then you're going to have to show me how that game works to see if I still want it or not. Okay, we'll show you this in-engine cutscene little trailer that has nothing to do with how the real game actually plays. It has everything to do with just, it's just an in-engine cutscene fucking trailer. That's all it is. Nothing but an in-engine cutscene fucking trailer instead of actually getting some real legitimate gameplay coming out. Wow, incredible. That's the best that they got. Let me ask you an important question. Where the fuck is the gameplay? In order for me to buy a game and want to buy a game, there needs to be gameplay, man. I need fucking gameplay. Gameplay is what shows me how a game functions and how a game works. And if I can't get any fucking gameplay, then what the fuck? That's the only thing that you're left thinking. What in the fuck? An in-engine cutscene trailer is not enough for me to be warranted to buy your purchase. You want me to buy and purchase your game, you're going to have to show me how the game actually works. This might be part of the reason why there was no destructible environments and why there was so much missing content in the game, because the game's going to have missing content if they're going to hide everything before launch. This is a common fraudulent thing that game industry designers do, where they come out of nowhere and they think about promotion and marketing before they even think about showing you the fucking game. That's all they're fucking caring about. Their promotion, marketing, and how the fucking game looks, instead of caring about what really matters, which is the actual game itself. Then we get all these CGI cutscenes, and not an actual representation of how the real game is going to play. This is a false way to paint the game in a false image, so when people finally do see gameplay, they're left with only that CGI cutscene and just, finally, now we're going to put all of our emphasis on the gameplay way after the fact when the game is about to launch, so you don't even have enough time to register how the real game functions, because you're so busy looking at only the tiny bit of gameplay they finally gave you after hiding it for all this fucking time. They're sitting there trying to hide this game, hiding gameplay. You can't hide a fucking game that's about to be released around the same time The Force Awakens is going to come out. When The Force Awakens comes out and the game is launched around the same time as The Force Awakens, guess what? You're going to have some fucking gameplay to show people that this game is legit. Because if the game is not legit and you release it at the same time of the movie, guess what? People are going to start thinking, why did you show all that fake shit in the fucking trailer? And let me tell you something, when you do play the game, all the stuff you see in the trailer has nothing to do with the way the real game plays out. The real game is a one-on-one, standoffy, where you fight people usually one-on-one. It's usually about one soldier, one or two people, and you run and gun, and basically you run and gun the entire game as a solo person, solo play. It's like Call of Duty, where it rewards you for not playing as the team and going off on your own. And then if you try to play as a team, there's not much objective-based things. Class system, there's no class system, so it's a custom class system, and there's not enough things that allow you to be able to even play the game in a way that would be like, this game, man, I can actually have freedom and versatility. I can actually play this in different ways. I can actually do all this shit. You're stuck playing it just like an arcade shooter where you're basically just running and gunning the whole time. And it's okay to run and gun in the game, but there should be other objectives to focus on, like the reinforcement count, like the enemy, like the AI, like the health, like the ammo, and a multitude of other things, just to keep it differentiating and different so people aren't stuck doing the same thing. These are the kinds of things that we're looking at. We're looking at how the game plays, how the game functions. Nobody's seeing it because you're hiding gameplay. And if you're hiding gameplay, it's as if you're not confident in the game. Are you not confident in this game? Is that what this is? Are you not confident in this game? You must not be. Because then by the time this game launches, because I'm taking you back in time for a second. I'm taking you back in time. We're going back in time for a second. Now, this game is launching around the same time that The Force Awakens is going to come out. And already, May 2015, right here, there is no gameplay being revealed, except for just some shitty in-engine footage trailer. And then, before that was just one trailer where they finally did reveal something, and they still didn't reveal gameplay. The E3 of that same year, they still hid gameplay. And what did they do in 2015?
They just showed you more of all the development of Battlefront. And they showed you a bunch of Star Wars props and a bunch of Star Wars fucking devices and a bunch of shit. Just a bunch of Star Wars props and just a bunch of Star Wars devices and shit like that, instead of actually showing us the fucking gameplay. That's what the fuck we're looking for. We're looking for some fucking gameplay, and instead we're getting all these Star Wars props and the making of Star Wars Battlefront, and not showing us the actual makeup of the gameplay. They hid the gameplay and just showed us how the game was being developed, and then they barely even showed any real development either. Most of what they showed for that fucking game is the exact same thing that you would have expected, instead of actually showing something legitimate in that sense. And that's what doesn't make any fucking sense. So then the best thing that we got is just a little bit more information about a couple of things like, oh, wait, look at this little scene that we have. Look at this background. Look at this little tiny little scene that we have. Look at some more background. Check out the sound effects. Look at this background. Look at all the places we went to just for this game. Okay, well, where's the fucking gameplay? And we went here. We went to the original sets of the movies. Okay, where's the gameplay? And then we also have this brand new graphical effect functionality for the Frostbite. Okay, where's the fucking gameplay? Then we have photorealistic blah, blah, blah. Where's the damn gameplay? Where is it? Bitch, you're not going to sit there and have all this fucking photorealistic cutscene, this, that, and cutscene trailer, cutscene, fucking cutscene. Where the fuck is it? Where? Where is the fucking gameplay? That's what the fuck I'm here for. I didn't come to this damn E3 for nothing. I'm coming here to see if this game is legit and if this game is what you claim it to be. Because if it's what you claim it to be, then bitch, I want to see that for myself. Where is it? And instead of seeing that for my fucking self, instead, the only thing I'm seeing is just a bunch of photorealistic cutscenes that have nothing to do with the fucking game itself. Nothing to do with it. A bunch of, oh, I went all the way out here to film. This is the same place they filmed Hoth. This is the same place they filmed Bespin. This is the same place they filmed Endor. That's great. That's nice. But I want to see how the game plays. And they hid that game for so long. And do you know why? Because a part of them probably knew that maybe if you compare this to the originals, this might be a little underwhelming. But you know something? Trying to hide it before the fan base gets to see it, just to see how underwhelming it is not going to suddenly change the backlash. And for you to sit there and hide it shows that you are afraid of that backlash, because you were worried about the fact that, you know something, this would not be the way that we thought. This is going to be like the fucking Last Jedi, and it ain't going to go the way you think. This is the kind of shit we had to deal with. Then you had a bunch of dick-riding, sell-out YouTubers come out of nowhere lying about the game, claiming it's going to have this, it's going to have Galactic Conquest, it's going to be a huge scale, there's going to be bigger game modes, there might even be a 64v64 game mode, there's going to be this and that, they're going to do this and that. All this bullshit that they kept talking prior to launch. But then these developers were coming out admitting that, you know something, we're not going to have instant action. We're not going to have this. We're not going to have that. And if they're admitting to what they're not going to have in the game, what the fuck makes you think they're going to add things that are even bigger than that? What the hell is wrong with you? Because some of those things that they claimed, that these YouTubers claimed they would add, is even bigger than instant action. We're talking ambitious ass shit. They made it like this is going to be an ambitious game, and we're going to do something, and we're going to try to take it in a new direction from what it went to, but we're still going to be just as ambitious in a new way. That's what they made it seem like. And instead, they hid gameplay and lied about the game and hid it from you and false represented it when they finally did reveal it. Then they finally revealed it. And the game's representation, if you've ever seen that trailer and played the game, the trailer is a false representation of how the game actually plays. And that explains why they hid it. They hid it so they had a false image of the game before it came out. And they kept trying to pull this same shit with every trailer, because most of the advertisements for the game had nothing to do with the gameplay. Most of the advertisement was still a bunch of in-engine cutscene trailers. They did this well into the game's launch, and even when the game finally launched, they kept doing this fraudulent business practice of false representing a game before it fucking comes out. That's the only thing that they're fucking concerned about. And that's the only thing that they ended up doing. And by the time the game is finally set and done, people have barely seen any gameplay. So they're going to be surprised and shocked by the little bit of gameplay that they experience, because anything new is going to shock you. It's going to be a shock to your brain, shock to the system. But when all that shock wears off and you realize that, damn, they've been hiding this game for so long, that might be what's adding to the enjoyment, then you start realizing, wait a minute, what's missing? How come I can't have this? How come I don't have that? And maybe if they showed you more gameplay before launch, you would have already seen what the game had to offer and you wouldn't have been fooled into buying it. That's a great way to fool a lot of people into buying it. A lot of people got frauded out of 2015 Battlefront, and that's how they got fucking frauded. This is the reason why I kept telling people to boycott, and I'm still saying the same thing. If you want them to eventually make a remaster of the old Battlefronts, boycott their new shit. If you want them to eventually stop making these shitty ass generic arcade shooters and eventually make the real Battlefront game, boycott it. And if you want them to give you the content that you wanted in the original games, boycott it. And if they're not showing you gameplay, boycott it. And if they're trying to be fraudulent, boycott. Boycott, and they can't do shit because then you're not giving them fucking money. That's the problem. If you know that the game is not showing sufficient gameplay and you know that they're hiding the game and it sounds suspicious, that means you should probably be hiding your fucking purchase. Don't buy the fucking game knowing that you're looking at the fucking gameplay and you're not seeing what the fuck you should be seeing out of the fucking game. Don't even think about it. You can't do it, and the reason why you can't do it is because of the fact that you are going to have to know how a game functions before you end up buying it. That's the key. And that's the thing that they avoided for the longest time. When the game finally freaking comes out, then when you actually see gameplay, then you can make a choice. But if you're going to hide the game and be finesse and slick, then you cannot be surprised when people finally see through it. And people finally do. This is why the game is being boycotted and the sales are not looking too good. Now, they made decent sales in comparison when you adjust inflation and in comparison to games back in the day. Yes, in comparison to games back in the day, it has made some pretty good sales. But when you compare it to things like Call of Duty and Battlefield, it's a failure. It's a flop. And that's exactly what happens when you hide gameplay. Stop being slick and show us what the fucking game looks like and how it fucking works. Then maybe that wouldn't happen. Greed at its finest, people. Greed at its finest. But there's even more to break down about Battlefront 3. Till we meet again in this galactical turmoil. Well, I hope you guys have fun out there. You all be easy.